Hello, I'm Leo Brown, and this is the What If It Is True podcast for today as we continue the broadcasts from the home studio with the lovely wood paneling. And we take a look at the gospel message here from John chapter 5, 17 through 30, looking for that virtue. And what's interesting, Jesus is talking here about how it's not his deal, it is his deal because the Father's given him this, but he would not be able to do anything were it not for the Father doing this. He says, the Father doesn't judge, I judge because the Father has allowed me to. And all of these things that he says, whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent me. Of course, he's talking here to the Pharisees who are giving him such a hard way to go about doing things like healing on the Sabbath, the things we've been talking about. And then, of course, you have the zombie apocalypse reference. But some would say, well, it's biblical because he talks about even those who are in the tombs will come out, right? But this isn't the walking dead. This is the living, those who have passed on but are resurrected, right? The resurrection and the glorification that will ultimately happen. But still, interestingly enough, I think people can refer to that and say, see, even the Bible talks about this. But to boil it all down in all seriousness, he ends this with saying this, and this is where I think we find the virtue, is I cannot do anything on my own, he says. I judge as I hear, and my judgment is just, because I do not seek my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. Now, that's what we're really, that's the message. That's what we need to do, right? That's what we need to hear. That's how we need to respond. Can we be that humble to say, it's not me, but it's God? Right, and mean it, not some sort of false sense of humility, like, oh yeah, that wasn't me, aw shucks kind of sense of humility, but to really seek God's will and say, look, even if this seems crazy or illogical or out of the ordinary or potentially embarrassing, there are things that God can call us to. Look at the prophets, right? They were called to do crazy stuff, things that they just didn't really consider part of their character, but they had to step outside of that. And if that's what it comes down to, that something is revealed in us because God is working in us, then praise God, right? That's what it's supposed to look like. That's the virtue, that type of humility and sincerity. To find out more about What If It Is True, visit us online at realliferadio.com. We stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right there. And of course, you can listen in the Lexington, Kentucky area at a couple of places, 94.9 FM and 1380 AM. This is the What If It Is True podcast. I'm Leo Brown. God bless.